What's up, YouTube fam? Okay, today I'm going to be making hot sauce. Some really hot sauce. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial step by step. It's going to be very simple and very quick. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I want to give you the straight point and everything that needs to be done and what you're going to need. What I have, first off, you're going to need a blender. Now, I mean, this is a small job, so I'm going to use a small. I have a larger blender, but this small one will get the job done. Okay. Inside here, I have roughly 25 was it bird's eye chilies, and how many habaneros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and 4 large jalapenos. Over here I have 12 Carolina Reapers and 9 Thai. I could put 10 in there. I just grabbed a handful. So the Thai chilies and some olive oil to spray your pot with. And you're going to need 2 cups of white distilled vinegar, a half a cup of, I'm using Hummer & Son honey because it's made right down the road. And if you use local honey, it's always better for your immune system, is what I'm told. And you use half a cup of honey and half a cup of, I'm going to be using Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard. All right. And in our veggie aisle over here, we got, I'm going to be using a quarter of this ginger, this whole garlic, and I'm going to use about half of this lime, and this yellow onion. It's already cut in half, pretty much. That much cilantro, that much celery, and I'm going to use a couple teaspoons of this garlic here too. Now, you can season it with some of these if you want to add just a little more seasoning to it, but get out of here. Today I'm just going to be using the black pepper, the paprika, and a teaspoon of salt. You're going to want some of these mason jar or ball jar, whatever you want. These are little half pint things, you know, they're not very big. I don't know what size actually are they. 4.4 ounce. Okay, got you. All right, now these, you get these are good for just serving the sauce. This is not actually, I'm going to can it in these jars, and I'm going to leave it. You can actually, after you make this, you can serve it once it's cooled off, but I'm going to let it season. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for a couple weeks. I may give some to my son this weekend, just let him try some. Okay, you're going to need a baster, okay, and you're going to need a jar funnel, and you're going to need a measuring cup with a spout on it. All right. Now, I'm going to get to, oh, yeah, very important. You're going to need these gloves and a ventilated hood, and probably would be not a bad idea to put on some safety glasses when you're cutting and cooking these little hot boys over here. All right, get started. All right, you're going to want to start with taking all the stems off, wash all your peppers really good, and cut them up just a little bit and throw them in the blender and get to whipping them up. All right, and now you're going to want to spray this really good. You don't have to use the spray. You can use the regular olive oil. You want a good bit of it in there. And then next, you're going to go ahead and pour your 2 cups of vinegar and your half a cup of honey and half a cup of honey mustard into the pot. All right, y'all see how I'm doing this? All right, I measured the 2 cups of vinegar, and then I put in the half a cup of honey, and now I'm going to put in, shake this up, and I'm going to put it all the way up to the 3 mark, because that'll be another half of the honey mustard. Right about there. All right, now we can go ahead and put our seasoning in with our paprika, our salt, and our black pepper in this, as well as we put it in, transition it over to our cooking pot. All right, about that much fresh ground black pepper. Okay. And about that much paprika. And about a teaspoon of salt, which is about that much. All right, not a tablespoon. All right, now pour those contents into your cooking pot. Might have to get you a little spoon to get everything out of it. It'll slowly come out of there. Just like that. Now you can clean this guy because you're going to reuse him to be pouring into the mason jars after it's done. Alright, now blend your cilantro. Did I get that? Blend your cilantro. It's hard to do this with the gloves on. Okay, leave the cilantro in there. Don't take it out yet. Just go ahead and start throwing other vegetables in there and it'll all get mixed in a lot better. Okay, next, blend your celery. Oh, gotta get it in locked first. Chopped up about like that. Next, the ginger. And then the yellow onion. Okay, at this point it's getting a little bit full, so I'm going to go ahead and put this over into our cooking pot. Alright, next will be our green onion. I mean, it's no particular order, you know. Oh yeah, but by the way, you want to kind of cut your ends off of stuff. I may have failed to mention that. And if you have a grill ready, it would be kind of good if you had like some pineapple or some of this, the onion, you might want to put it on the grill. You may even sometimes want to sear the onion on the stove and kind of caramelize it beforehand. It just kind of brings out some of the sweetness. Just some other ideas, you know, you kind of make it your own, you know. So I left a little bit of this in here to give this something to kind of catch on to with these little blenders. It makes it happen a little faster. I just kind of bash that with my hand and separate it. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that garlic in with that also, get it all mixed up. I'm going to make one other little side note. This is very important. It's okay to use a wooden cutting board for doing this stuff. But unless you're the only one that uses this cutting board, I would not suggest cutting these peppers on there. I would cut them on something either polyurethane cutting board or even a plate. I don't care, whatever. It's just something to where that capsaicin oils doesn't seep into something like wood, man. If you got little kids, they're not going to appreciate you later because it's going to take a long time and many moons of washing to get that stuff out. All right, blend the green onion up. Yeah, if you got little ones, they are not going to appreciate your love for hot sauce if any of this gets on their food. Okay, next, peel that lime. You can leave the seeds in there. I think anything you leave seeds in, some people say, oh, it makes it better. No, I think it gives it that extra flavor. So you better leave them seeds in there. Holy shallot. That is not a garlic clove. Somebody put a shallot in the garlic at the market, and I'm the lucky poor bastard that got it. Oh man, now looks like I'm gonna have to use more of that. This was not planned, but I'm gonna use that sucker and see how it works. Okay, so we got a shallot in the ingredients. I thought it was a big garlic clove. Man, that sucks. Well, digging around through the refrigerator, I did find one little piece of a garlic clove. We're gonna use it. All right, peel that out and throw it in there. At least got some. Better than none. Okay, that said, that's about how much garlic I'm going to put in there with it. But you know what? Accidents are how some really cool things get invented sometimes. Let's see how that's blending up really well. Alright, in the pot it goes, and now time for the bad boys. To be perfectly honest, I probably should have just broke out the bigger blender for this job, but oh well. This one's dirty now. Alright, now for the habaneros. Alright, that looks good. Now for the bird's eyes. Some people actually cook the stuff before they blend it, but I kind of do a reverse osmosis. No. Oh wow, these things smell so hot. They've been fermenting for a little while, so. Alright, now the Thai chilies. Alright, now we got the Reapers going in there. And definitely time to put on those safety glasses, y'all. All right, and in the pot, you pour all that. All right, I'm going to cover this. I dare somebody to take a big spoonful of that and eat it right now. I know people that will. Cover this and get your vent started. And turn it on high and get it to a boil, and then we're going to put it on simmer and let it cook for. Look, we're going to see until the consistency gets right. I would say about 10 minutes, but we may go a little further than that. Also, be very mindful of everything that you touch, even though you're wearing gloves and all that. Trust me, this stuff gets everywhere, and it's not forgiving, and it will remind you later. All right, well, let's go on. You may be asking yourself, Tony, what's up with a turkey baster? Okay, I didn't tell you what I'm going to use this for. This is actually for when you jarred it and everything's done, and you want to put it in like the little Tabasco bottles or something. You get some of it and you put it right over in there instead of using a funnel and stuff. This is so much easier. Make sure to rinse and clean everything very thoroughly. Even though I wore gloves, I'm still going to wash my hands with dish soap. Okay, that's coming to a roaring boil, so we're going to bring it down to half heat and let it simmer. Oh my God, y'all, that just smells so good. So good. I'm going to probably let this stuff cook for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to check it. Some people let it cool off after they've cooked it and blend it again. I'm not going to do that. I like mine really chunky. Now, that also is where the strainer comes into play. Okay, how chunky do you want it? Do you want to strain it all out and just use the juices like a Tabasco? Or do you want to re-add or just strain it and put some of the chunky back in it? Or do you want to leave the whole thing all chunky? That's all up to your preference. But let me tell you something, that stuff smells wonderful right now. I'm cooking for about 30 minutes now, so I'm going to remove it from the heat and let it cool, and then I'm going to strain it. And I'm decided, by the looks of it, I'm probably going to just strain it in this bigger red one instead of this one. Alright, now that that's cooled down just a little, I don't want it to cool down a whole lot because, probably should have put my safety glasses on for this, but I don't want it to cool down a whole lot because I want it to be able to strain properly and not just sit there and that back for a minute, let that do its straining. This will take a little while, so just have patience with it and let it do its straining. And just take you a spoon or something and just kind of stir it around a little bit so that they'll help the flowing of the liquids. Just this right here would be real good on something. Get that liquid out of the strainer down through it. Come along pretty good. The cooking pot had a little bit of a char on the bottom of it, which is not a problem. That's just gonna, now this will be labeled as roasted hot sauce. Okay, here is the finished product. That is wonderful. It's got a nice consistency to it. And if I want to thicken it up a little bit, I'll just add a little bit of that to it. I'll put it in the jar here. But we're going to pour it in now and see how this stuff looks in the jar. One jar. Hey, might have enough for 2 jars here. All right. Second jar. Got even more. And as you can tell, I'm not using that jar funnel. I figured this is easy enough, so. Perfect. 3 jars. Perfect, perfect. Awesomeness. That'll go a long ways, guys. This stuff is, I haven't tried this yet, but I can tell you right now, it's going to be really, really, really hot. Just because smelling of it will make you sneeze. Decided to put some of that in the 4th jar just so it won't go to waste. I'll put it on a cracker or something. Now I'll set all this in the refrigerator for about 3 weeks and let it get good and ripe and be ready to go. Alright, y'all. I gotta give it just a little bit of a try before I put it in the refrigerator. Put a little bit on there. Wow. Oh God, that's some. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! That's some hot sauce. That's some hot sauce. Ah. All right, guys, check it out. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep 1 jar of the hot sauce, but the other 2, well, and that chunky jar also, you know. If there's a member in my community, a chili head, that'd be interested in, you know, me, I'll send you some. I'll send you a jar, and if you'll do a review video on it, and let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll just send it to you. But if you'll do a review video on it, I'll definitely send you some. All right, y'all.